What's up, guys? It's your boy Hokage Puya, and big news for Bayern today. Transfer news. We got to talk about all of it. Mathys Tel has decided to leave Bayern in the winter window right now, and I am happy. I will tell you why I'm happy, and I will tell you why this needs to be done as a loan deal. And then we're going to talk about getting rid of the dead weight at Bayern, getting rid of a lot of top earners on high wage contracts that do not get the job done for us anymore. Goretzka, Coman, Gnabry, Sane. We're gonna talk about all those guys. But first, we're gonna talk about Mathys Tel. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, subscribe if you're new, man. Yeah, that Bayern content and other content talking about football in Europe gonna be coming out. International football, everything. You guys, I talk about it all. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want. Let's get into the news. So shout out again the GOAT Twitter account. I Mia San Mia, the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Mathys Tel has decided to leave Bayern this month. You guys, look, reported by Fabrizio Romano, my favorite Italian dictator. Mathys Tel has decided to leave Bayern this month. Bayern and the players' camp will assess all options in the market. Mathys Tel, above this, Mathys Tel has decided to leave FC Bayern with immediate effect and informed the club. The destination will be decided in the coming days. A loan with or without an option to buy is being discussed, but also a permanent sale is a possibility. Let me just pull this up right here. Tel is disappointed with FC Bayern. Now, we're going to talk about, there's two things I want to talk about here. First of all, listen, we're going to talk about this right here on the screen, but let's talk about Mathys Tel leaving. Now, I'm very happy with this. Now, Bayern need to play their cards right, because I'm sorry, I haven't given up on Mathys Tel, but I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to tell you why in a little bit, why I think he's acting like such a spoiled, privileged little boy. He needs to calm down, Mathys Tel, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about the move Bayern should make here. So Mathys Tel wants to leave? Fine, get out of here. You want to go get minutes? Get out of here. All right? We kind of need you. We kind of don't. Company, given the fact that Company has not played this guy and given him any minutes in the last 3 to 4 games, is telling that Company does not really trust the kid. Company is not happy with what he's seeing in training. And he's the coach. We have to listen to the coaches, what the coach wants, right? What should Bayern do now with Mathys Tel? Now, as the tweet said, him and his camp are looking into options, loan with obligation to buy to teams, possible full transfer, fully selling him this winter. There's a lot of options on the table here. Fabrizio has also reported that there are 7 loan offers on the table for Mathys Tel, and even more other options, teams trying to sign him. So there's a lot of places for Mathys Tel to go. But what should Bayern do? 1000% Bayern should be trying to loan out Mathys Tel. If they want to put in an option to buy clause in his loan deal, fine. But 100% Mathys Tel should not be by any means sold by the club this winter, because he's only 18, 19. He's only like 19 years old. He's only 19 years old. We cannot give up on him. He's obviously a quality player. He's also obviously very talented. But the thing is with Mathys Tel, he's not getting minutes. And he, I guess at 19 years old, aspires to be starting in the Bayern 11 over all these senior guys in our team. It's just not going to happen. And Company's showing it's not going to happen. He hasn't given Mathys Tel a single minute in the last 3 games, right? So Mathys Tel is now looking at this, because remember, if you're tuning into the Bayern news, 3 weeks ago, Mathys Tel is fully committed to the club, wants to stay and fight for his place. He's then, for 3 games, not given a single minute. He's taken the message. He needs to go get minutes. He wants to go get minutes. And Bayern should not give up on him. Bayern, by all means, have to loan him out. Where are you going to loan him to? I don't care. As long as it's a top team in a top league, whatever. Send him to Ligue 1. Back to Ligue 1. Probably not. He probably doesn't want to go back to Ligue 1 and develop his game. So likely for Mathys Tel, he's either going to go to another club in the Bundesliga, the Premier League, La Liga, or Serie A. He will go to one of those 4 leagues. He will make the move to a team in one of those 4 leagues. And the offers are there. Manchester United are interested. Obviously, Chelsea are interested. There's a lot of teams interested in him in a lot of the top leagues around the world, in Europe specifically. And what Bayern needs to do now is loan him out, because let's send him out on loan. Let's send him somewhere he'll get game time with a decent squad. Like if he went to Chelsea, him and Cole Palmer, he could pick up things from Cole Palmer, establish game time in the Premier League with Chelsea over a year. That would be great for his development. Then we could see if there's a potential of a starting Bayern striker there in Mathys Tel, then we could assess the potential. Right now, I'm not sure what to think of Mathys Tel because obviously Mathys Tel came to Bayern and he had a big impact under Tuchel. He had some clutch goals, some clutch assists in the dying moments of games for us, right? But since, this whole season, he's kind of been underwhelming. Sure, Mathys Tel might complain that he's not getting the minutes, but when Mathys Tel this season has gotten the minutes, has gotten the start, has gotten the chances, the kid is not delivering. He just isn't, and I'm sorry, Bayern fans. We're gonna get to it, but I'm sorry, Bayern fans, if you believe he's good enough to be in the squad. His performances this season have shown that he's not. They've shown that he's nowhere near the level at the moment. He has the talent. I do believe Mathys Tel has the talent to be a successful player at Bayern, but he's not showing it right now. When he gets chances, he's not doing anything. So it is what it is. So Bayern need to loan him. Absolutely don't sell him. Because the thing is, yes, we could sell Mathys Tel right now and get a decent fee, maybe 30, 40 million minimum for Mathys Tel. But the issue is, if we loan him out and he goes and plays well, his stock rises, he comes back to Bayern, and then we could assess, okay, does this guy have a future at Bayern? Okay, we're going to keep him in the squad and get him more minutes, and he's going to start games for us. If he comes back from his loan and we decide we do not want to continue with him in our team and he has a good loan spell, his value goes up. All of a sudden, we could sell him for 50 to 60 million. So this is why the loan is key here because it will tell us a lot about Mathys Tel and whether he has a future at Bayern or not. And this is why he needs to go to a top team in a top league so he could show the club bosses, he could show Vincent Kompany, and even the squad himself that he is good enough and that he can make an impact at Bayern. So loan him. But we're gonna get to now this. Let's go back to Aimia Semia. After 3 games in a row with no minutes, Mathys Tel has now decided to prioritize his development and leave Bayern. It remains to be seen whether it will be a loan or a permanent deal. Chelsea remain interested. A move to Chelsea would facilitate Bayern's pursuit of Christopher Nkunku, whatever. Mathys Tel is sad because he really wanted to succeed at Bayern. Tel has around 7 loan offers, like I said, but also has offers for permanent transfers. This and that, blah, 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 whatever, and a bunch of other news, right? Manchester United in the race here. What I want to know is, Mathys Tel, and what I want to know in the world of football, does a 19-year-old at a club like Bayern not starting mean that your development is being stunted? That's what I want to know. Why is there such a big rush in the Bayern fan base online to get this guy into the team? Why does Mathys Tel and his camp feel an urgency to be a starter at Bayern and try to get to the world-class level as fast as possible? What Mathys Tel is showing right now is that he needs more time to get there. And it seems like he's trying to rush himself. So it's just this weird privilege that a lot of young players are having, and Mathys Tel is showing it. He feels that as a 19-year-old who's accomplished nothing at Bayern deserves to be starting and getting more minutes. I don't know, dude. That's very privileged. That's very crybaby mentality. Bro, you're 19. Not a lot of 19-year-olds are playing at top clubs around Europe and starting. Yes, Jamal Musiala became a starter as a teenager for Bayern. Yes, Alexander Pavlovic right now came from the academy and is a starter at Bayern as a teenager. But Mathys Tel, you are not on the level of Alexander Pavlovic and Jamal Musiala. You are not on the level of Pedri and Gavi when they broke into the Barcelona team as teenagers. You're not on the level of Jude Bellingham when he broke into the Dortmund team as a teenager, as a 16-year-old kid. You're just not at that caliber. So why does Mathys Tel have this idea that he should be getting more minutes? You guys, if you're a 19-year-old at Bayern and you're on the bench, you're very far in your career already. You're very far in your career. What I don't understand from Mathys Tel is, sure, you could go somewhere else. Say you go to a Chelsea. Say you go to a Manchester United for a 1-year loan, right? Say you go there, Mathys Tel, right? Would you develop more as a player playing with those weaker teams in practice, playing in the Premier League in teams that are struggling in the Premier League, would you develop more as a player doing that? Or would Mathys Tel develop more as a player playing what people don't understand is at Bayern, if you're not playing as a young player, it's fine because you're in the training sessions with Harry Kane, Yoso Kimmich, Jamal Musiala, Dayot Upamecano, Manuel Neuer, Thomas Muller, Alphonso Davies, Kingsley Coman, Leroy Sane. You're literally training with top-class players every single day. So I don't understand Mathys Tel's mentality here, why he is so urgent to be a starter at Bayern. I don't get it. And I really think this urgency from Tel is coming from a privilege that a lot of young players are beginning to feel right now in Europe because we are in a very interesting age right now in football. The last 2 to 3 years, I'd argue the top players in the world have been players 23 and under. The last 4 or 5 years at Barcelona, you've had Pedri, Gavi break into the team as teenagers. You have Lamine Yamal right now, one of the best players in the world, the main guy at Barcelona at 17. Alejandro Balde at Barcelona, starting as a left back there at 18, 19 years old. You have all these La Masia guys starting for Barcelona at Real Madrid. At Real Madrid, you had Jude Bellingham at 20 years old go and light it up for Real Madrid as a 20-year-old last season and win a Champions League. Right? At Bayern, you have Alexander Pavlovic and Jamal Musiala, who got into the first team and established starting positions in those teams as teenagers. Cole Palmer, as a 20-year-old, was the best player for Chelsea last season and was the top goal scorer, or the second top goal scorer. I feel like with all these different case studies around Europe, a lot of younger players are now coming up and thinking, oh, I want to be like Musiala, Pedri, Gavi, Bellingham, all these guys. I want to be like Pavlovic. I want to be a teenager starting for a big club. Yes, you want to be that, but are you good enough to be that? And I think that's Mathys Tel's mentality. And I just don't think Mathys Tel is at a level to start for Bayern. Because when he gets a starting chance, he doesn't produce much. He's not stellar. He's gotten minutes throughout the season. I understand Mathys Tel hasn't gotten any minutes the last 3 games, but throughout the whole season as a whole, he's gotten a lot of minutes, and he hasn't been producing. So I just don't understand where this urgency is from Mathys Tel. So, is what it is. He's going to leave this winter window in the next couple of weeks. I really hope Bayern get it done as a loan. That would be a great result for Bayern to get him out on loan. In the Premier League, in the Bundesliga, in La Liga. Those would be my top 3 league destinations for Mathys Tel. So we're going to see how it rolls out. But yeah, I'm just really disappointed in how this privileged attitude young guys are having. And Mathys Tel, I understand Bayern fans are being so soy boy and crybaby. Bayern fans are crying. The club failed him. The club, they want to loan him. You guys realize a loan isn't, you're not selling a player when they go on loan. If Tel goes on loan, he's coming back. Right? We're acting like loaning a player is the end of their career at Bayern. Did you know we loaned Philipp Lahm before he became our greatest right back of all time? Did you know we loaned David Alaba out before he became our greatest left back of all time, or our second greatest left back of all time for Bayern? Did you know that? A loan doesn't mean the end of your time at Bayern. Josip Stanisic was a starter for Bayern, quality starter. We sent him out on loan to Leverkusen last season. He freaking had an undefeated season. He came back, we extended his contract, and now he's back from injury, and he's probably going to be a starter for us. Mathys Tel. What I hope for Mathys Tel when he goes on loan is don't go on loan looking to improve your performances to get a move away from Bayern. Mathys Tel should be going on loan to prove himself, to get better, and to come back at Bayern and become a more competitive player for a starting 11 position. That should be his mentality. But the mentality I'm seeing from Mathys Tel, that he's sad, that he's feeling like a failure, that he didn't make it at Bayern. Bro, you're 19. You still have time. And the fact that he's sad and he's kind of sulking about it and mad about not getting minutes, it makes me feel that he wants to get this loan move done in the winter, looking to play well somewhere else to get a move away from Bayern. And that's just the wrong mentality. So I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but that's my take on the Mathys Tel situation. Just so rushed and this privilege that you need to play games and get minutes. You're not guaranteed anything in football, especially as a teenager at the second biggest football club in the freaking world. So piss off, man. Piss the fuck off. So Mathys Tel, good luck to you, and I hope you make it wherever you go, and I hope you come back a better player and that you could succeed at this club, because I'm not preying on your downfall, kid. No one's preying on your downfall. I see the quality, show it more. Anyway, next topic, last topic of the video, only 2 topics, so it's not like we had 10 topics to go through. We're going to be talking about the bums of our team. The dead weights of our team. Let's talk about Leon Goretzka first. Basically confirmed here, Max Eberl has recently had a meeting with the agents of Leon Goretzka. The agents have clearly been told that the club is looking to sell the midfielder. Bayern are planning with the new signing of Tom Bischoff as well as Alexander Pavlovich in Goretzka's spot in the future. Both youngsters combined, it says something about how their wage bill is would be 11 million total, and Leon Goretzka currently makes 15, 17 million a year. So this is great news. Leon Goretzka, let me preface, I have to respect Leon Goretzka. Actually, let's go back to the screen. I have to respect Leon Goretzka this season. He wanted to stay at Bayern. We tried to sell him last summer. He stayed. And recently, in the last month and a half, he's been very good for us, deputizing for the injured Pavlovich and injured João Palhinha. But, I'm not going to be fooled. You're not Kimmich. You're not Pavlovich. You're just not as good as these players. And Goretzka, he's given us a good US. He's been here for a while. Goretzka has been here 6 years, 5 to 6 years. It is what it is. So Goretzka, I hope to get a good fee for him in the summer. This is the right direction. We sell Goretzka. All of a sudden, we free up another 15, 17 million from the wage bill. And with Leon Goretzka, his improved performances recently, and the fact that he still has 1 more year until 2026 on his Bayern contract, we can probably get 20 to 30 million for Leon Goretzka this summer, which would be an excellent fee to bring into the club to fund other transfers that we need to make in the summer. So great news here. I'm not happy that Leon Goretzka has that his Bayern career is kind of ending on a iffy note. He was a key player for that treble-winning season in 2020, sextuple team under Hansi Flick. But his time is done. And dude, honestly, I think, and we're going to talk about for these other players, I don't think Goretzka is a bad player. I just think maybe a new environment will really reinvigorate Leon Goretzka. So I really don't think Goretzka is a finished player, but I really think if he makes the right move to the right team, a Chelsea, definitely don't go to Manchester United. If he goes to Liverpool, I know Liverpool might be interested in him, and Arsenal, Manchester City, some of these teams go to the Serie A for Inter. I really think Leon Goretzka can reinvigorate his career and make a push to make it to the World Cup for Germany next summer. So, Goretzka, good luck to him in the summer. We still got a whole half a season to play, so I'm really banking on him to have good performances for Bayern for the last 5 to 6 months, so we can end things on a high note, Leon. So, looks like he's going to go. And I really like the fact that we're probably not going to try to replace him 1-to-1, that we're going to trust, obviously, Pavlovich, but he was going to be trusted to take over for Goretzka, but also Tom Bischoff is not going to be loaned out, and he's going to be given game time at Bayern next season to fill in the role as a substitute player. So yeah, good news here. Obviously, with Goretzka leaving, that leaves us with Pavlovich, Palhinha, Bischoff coming in. Likely, I really believe Kimmich, regardless, is going to end up extending his contract at Bayern. So we have 4 midfielders right there, along with Konrad Laimer, Guerrero, 6 midfielder depth. I'm happy with that. I'd be happy with that, but we'll see what happens. So Leon Goretzka, sell. And this is an important one. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our wingers. Savings are also to be made in the wing positions. Serge Gnabry earns around 19 million a year, Kingsley Coman 17, and Leroy Sane 20. Bayern are looking to sign 2 new wingers, Jamie Gittins and Nkunku. Both players would cost high fees but would earn less. A final decision regarding Sane has not been made yet. The player is ready to take a pay cut in a short-term deal. Regarding Gnabry, Bayern are pessimistic about being able to offload him, with Coman a summer departure as possible. Now, what should the game plan be for Bayern here in the summer with our wingers? So, Coman needs to go this summer. He's been a great servant for Bayern, almost here 10 years. Coman will be leaving this summer. I can guarantee it. If Coman leaves, we free up 17 million in the wage budget. Huge for us, right? So Coman needs to go this summer. Regardless of how he performs the next 3, 4, 5 months, we need to sell Coman. We could get a decent fee for him, and we would free up 17 million from our wage bill. Gnabry earns 19 million. Although For some reason, they're saying Bayern are pessimistic about being able to offload him. I really think if we push for it, Gnabry can be sold with 1 year left on this contract. We could get, like Leon Goretzka, 20, 30 million for him. So we get 20, 30 million for Serge Gnabry, and we free up another 19 million from the wage bill. Also would be massive for us. 36 million on the wage bill cleared up from those two players. Now, Leroy Sane, I'm not in the boat that Leroy Sane should be sold. I think out of these three wingers, Leroy Sane has the most to give to us. He really does. Leroy Sane, for me, this is the key thing. The player is ready to take a pay cut and a short-term deal. If we're going to extend Sane, I want this 20 million a year to drop to 13, 12 million a year. Take 8 million off Leroy Sane's contract. And short-term deal, long-term deal, whatever. But if we're to extend Leroy Sane, the most important thing for me is that it's no more than 13, 12 million euros a year, which is still a lot, but it would free up another 8 million. So if we're freeing up 36 from Coman and Gnabry and another 8 million, right? Another 8 million from Leroy Sane, we are clearing 44 million from our wage budget to be spent on new players or whatever, new wingers to come in, which would be huge for the club. Because you guys, Gnabry based on his last 3 years, Coman based on his last 3 years, Sane ever since he came to Bayern, they do not deserve these wages. And it's really been affecting our wage bill and finances at Bayern. So sell Gnabry, sell Coman, bring Leroy Sane down to a short-term deal where he's making no more than 13 million, 12 million a year. We would free up around 44 million in our wage budget. That would be excellent. So that should be the game plan for Bayern here. Sell Gnabry, sell Coman in the summer, bring Leroy Sane's contract down to a 2 to 3 year deal, earning no more than 12 to 13 million euros a year. Maybe throw in some performance bonuses in there for him, but his base salary should be no more than 12 to 13 million euros in his new contract. 100%. So I think that's the play here for Bayern. That's how we could get rid of a lot of dead weight on the wings, because yes, Coman, Gnabry, and Sane have their good games here or there. They overall have been dead weight the last 2 to 3 years. They do not perform consistently. They do not put away their chances on the field. They're constantly costing us games and giving us mid performances. It's time to ship some of these players off. And I really think by selling 2 out of these 3 guys, Gnabry and Coman, and keeping Sane, we would make a step in the right direction. Now, in terms of the replacements, I'll make a video on that in the future. Obviously, this tweet here says Jamie Gittins and Nkunku are transfer targets. Jamie Bino Gittins, I'm on board with if we could get him for a good price. Dortmund are asking for 100 million plus, which is ridiculous. So if it's 100 million plus, I don't want Jamie Gittins. And Christopher Nkunku, who I'd love in our team, is not a winger, so I wouldn't want him to be signed as a winger. I wouldn't want that. So honestly, as wing options, these aren't my first 2 replacement options. These really aren't. I'm looking at Nico Williams. I'm looking at players like Nico Williams, Rafael Leao. These are the kinds of players I'm looking to bring to Bayern to replace guys like Coman and Gnabry. These are the players I'm trying to look for. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll see what's going to happen in the summer, but hopefully we could offload some of these players, and hopefully we get that loan move finalized for Mathys Tel within the next 2 to 3 weeks before the winter window closes. Guys, it's been your boy Hokage. A lot of news broke today. Came on here to talk about it, and yeah, Mia San Mia, guys, we are who we are. The club moves. We got a big Champions League game tomorrow. We just gotta hope for the best. If results fall our way, we could potentially make top 8. Probably not going to happen, but let's just try to finish as high as we can in the league table. And yeah, hopefully Max Eberl and those guys in the board don't mess up these transfer plans for Bayern, don't mess up the future of this club and the squad planning, and I hope they make the right decisions. And I hope they go with my train of thought that I talked about in this video. You guys, like the video, subscribe if you're new for that Bayern content, for that footy content, everything. Just stick around for it. Come on. It's been your boy Hokage Puya. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.